Hi my muddy people, welcome back. I'm Nat at Mud Magic. Thank you for joining me again for a session in the studio today. So off my last kiln unload video, Michelle, Dickey and a couple of other people asked me to show how I make my handles. So I'm going to do it today because I have thrown 10 mugs yesterday, so I have to put the handles on. So I figure I might as well video it. So she asked in particular how I do my plait handles, so I will show that. And then I'm not going to show how to attach them or anything because I've already done that. If you look back a few videos ago, it shows attaching, like the whole mug making from start to finish, attaching them and everything. So this is just how I make my different kind of shaped handles, in particular the flat plait one. She asked how I do that, so I will show that. So I'm also going to attempt to turn a couple of my mugs into gnome mugs, so I need some handles for them. And that is thanks to Angela at AP Pottery. So you can have a look at her. She's got a how to make the gnome mugs video, which is really great. It's really informative. So I am going to attempt to do a couple of those today. So I can't wait to see how they turn out. I hope Angela doesn't mind, but I figure if she's done a how to make them video on YouTube, she's got to expect people to make them. So I'm going to try. So I'll try and show you. I've got you on selfie mode, so let me see if I can show you the mugs that I made yesterday. So this is the ones that I did. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and do the more bellied ones in the like gnome as the gnome. I'm just going to do 2 of them. So that sort of kind of shape, that's sort of what Angela uses. So you just look at your mugs and think about like these sort of ones. I like putting my cloud handle on because it's got the ripple and it kind of goes in with it. So you look at your mugs and think about what sort of shape will suit. So they have now made it to trimming stage. So let me see if I can get your line back up. It's about right, I think. So yeah, so they're at trimming stage. So I'm going to pull these. I always pull my handles before I trim. Let them sit up for 1 to 2 hours, depending on the weather. But in Sydney, it never takes long. An hour is usually enough. It's pretty warm today, so I think an hour will be long enough. So by the time I trim them and a few other items that I made yesterday as well, the handles should be good to go. So I like them for my clay. And this is what I said to Michelle as well. All clays are different. So this is just what works with my clay. Give it a go. You might have to tweak it for your own clay. So I do, I like them to be leather soft, but so they're only just hard enough to hold their shape when you put them on the mug. So they will hold their shape, they'll hold the curve, they'll hold the plait, but they're very soft so that you can still bend them, work with them, plait them without them cracking. That's key for the plait ones. It must be softer than you would normally attach a handle, I would imagine, when you attach it. So, well, that's what I do. As I say, everybody's clay is different. So let's get into it. So block of clay, same clay as the mugs, of course. So I never, ever use this top part of the clay. Even though that feels soft, it feels exactly the same. I mean, it's got this chunk through it anyway, but even if that was flat, feels soft, feels the same as the clay is, but even though this bag has been sealed, it's still got to be a tiny bit drier. And that was another big thing that I changed and made a massive difference from advice that I had. So what I do is I get my harp. I love these. If you don't have one, get one. They're great. And then I just go down a little bit and just pull as sort of straight as I can through there. And then turn that over and you've got 2 surfaces that you can pull your handles from. So I need 10 handles. So I have got out my handle tools. So what I'm going to do, this is the hardest one to pull handles with. This one, it's easy to pull them through, but then it's really hard to get them out of the block. They always like break apart and stuff. So I am going to do that though, because that is what I do my really little my small plaits with. And also what I do my crazy handles with. So with these ones, I just try and pull as close to the surface as I can. And then I try to pull the clay away. My clay is a very soft, almost a sticky clay. So I try and pull it away because that's what will catch on and make it hard to pull them out. So It's got a little bit of a raised blobble at the top. It's not too much of a concern because you're going to play with it so much anyway. But what I then do, I'm just trying to make sure I'm still in camera. The other end of this tool is that. So I just use that because it's convenient, but you can use anything, any knife. And I just get off that little, as much of that little excess bit of clay as I can. Obviously keep that clay. And then it's still a bit messy, but it's a lot straighter now. So then I can just sort of rub that in with my finger and make that more of a rounded, or with water and sponge, and then put that there. So for a plait, obviously need 3. You can do 4 if you want, you know, artist's choice. So then with this one, I try and go pretty close to that, so that I've only got a thin amount of clay here that I need to pull away. If it's thicker like here, you can't pull it away, it's too thick. So then I try and pull it away like that, and then gently grab it out. Oh, see, it's even attached to the block. That one's actually not too bad. I probably don't even need to cut anything off that. So you can just smush that down while it's still wet. Put it with the other one. And then one more. And then if you want to do my crazy handle, you do exactly this as well. As close as I can again. Pull it back gently, because you don't want to smush it on. You want to be pulling it back, not smushing it onto the little coil. And in fact, that reminds me, you can do this for coil building as well. You can use these. It's a cheat for coil building. If you're hand building something with coils, I always do that. I don't make my own coils, I just use that. So that's the 3. So I've got them all out just to show you. I might use another one, I'm not sure yet. So I have all of these different sizes. Wrong end. So I have all those different sizes. So if I want to do a big handle, or if I want to do like actually I might do that. I'll show you that one as well, rather than trying to explain it. Okay, so then you get your 3. I just want to make sure I'm in camera. You get your 3 little things that you've just pulled. You get them, you line them up, and then on your board is easier, but I want you to be able to see. So I just literally smush them together because they're very wet. Only just come straight off the block. Smush them together. So you've got an attached part up here. So that's what you're going to attach to your mug. And then I overbend, before I plait it, I overbend it like I do with all my handles. That was a big tip. That makes so much difference. I don't know why. It sounds weird, but overbend, you don't even have to leave it. Bring it back, and then normally with a handle I will then form it. With the plait one, I then put it back down on my board, gently get them separated again because they're sticky, they will attach to each other. Separate them out, make sure I'm where you can see me. Make sure that's nice and squished. Okay, can you see? Yep. And then I just plait them like hair. So I plait them very gentle. I'm very gentle because it's clay, but at the same time I plait them very tight to each other and sort of like smush them, but not a lot. You don't want them to look flat. I just sort of make sure they're a little bit attached to each other, but also I you know, to make it look like a tight plait. Now you can also, well, I won't do this again because it's the same process, but I'll just show you here. So you can also, if you want to, make a really wide open plait, which looks really awesome on mugs as well. So you can just go like that. I'll see if I can pick it up. So it's going to be hard, but so you can either do the tight plait at the top the whole way down, which is what I'm going to do, or the loose open plait, which looks fantastic on mugs as well. So I'll just pull that open again. Now the thing is with doing this, obviously it's going to make the handle a lot smaller. So you need to either have a small mug or pull bigger coils, so you can rolling pin out a bigger slab of clay if you want a longer coils to get a longer handle on a longer plait. But this should be okay. I've done it this my normal block length every time, and it's okay. I can usually find a small enough mug. So then at the bottom, actually undo just that one. What you can do at the bottom, if you want to, depending on the style of your mug, you can leave them, and then when you attach them, scratch and score 3 spots and attach them out like strands of hair. I've done that before and that looks effective. The glaze plays on it really well. Or what I'm going to do today, because it's just what I feel like, is the same as what I did at the top. So you plait them down to the bottom and then you just smush them together at the bottom. And then, you know, if you really want to be fussy, you can pull that little extra bit of clay off. Right, so then you've got a nice tight plait, smushed at the top, smushed at the bottom, so that's where you'll attach it to the mug. Now is when I bend it over into the shape of the handle, over bent, if anything, over exaggerated, and then I keep these. I don't like, people will hang their mugs over rolling pins and things. I don't, because I over bend them. So it's quite a small, like you couldn't really hang that over anything anyway, but it works for me. So I just put them on these boards because I don't attach my handles here. I attach them over on my table just there. But it's easier to pick up and move 5 handles because I need 10, so I'll probably put 5 per board on there, move them over there, and then I don't have to move them one at a time. It's just easier. As I've said to you before, if I can find a lazy way, I will. So this one, and also too, I will often do, this has got brown clay on it, doesn't matter. I will often pull more handles than I need in case you have fails, in case something happens when you attach them. So this one, what I do with this one, pull it through the same, pull this back the same, always with any of these circle ones, I always pull it back here. Pull this out, and then again just smooth that down, not that it really matters with this one. And then what I do with these is I roll it out. It probably won't work now that I'm on camera, but I try and roll it so it stays as a coil. Now the reason I do it this way is because my you know, for this particular handle you want a longer coil, so doing it with the big thick circle pulling handle puller, it means you can get a longer coil because you're doing this, which is making it longer. So just keep stretching it out until you get it to how thin you want it. Again, artist's choice, and depends on your handle as well. Your mug. Depends on your mug. Size of your mug, whether you want a big chunky handle, whether you want a thinner, more delicate handle. I'll probably go about there. And then roll it, bend it in half. Am I in camera? Yep. So bend it in half like that, and then I will just do whatever I decide to do here, which I'll probably just curl it around like that. Again, the same as a plait, you can kind of sort of push it a little bit together if you want. And again, at the bottom, you can leave it open, which I might do on this one actually. You can leave it open like that, or you can smush it together like I just showed you. So then again, anything, if it is looking like it's starting to crack, just rub your finger over it. Again, I will then bend that. I should overbend, I didn't overbend this one, but kind of hard. Overbend it, bring it back, bend it into my handle shape, and then that will attach onto the mug here, and then underneath you get this nice open round looking on the mug. It looks really, really nice, and the glaze again plays really well on it. And then I'm going to leave them open, so I'll do 2 scratch and score marks with those at the bottom of the mug, and you'll see all these come out of Freddie. And then yeah, just if you have any that look like they're starting to crack, you just rub it with your finger. come back and check and rub them again in an hour when you go to attach them. If they're looking cracked, again, just a bit of water and rub over them. So that is 2 done. Then what else was I going to show you? Oh, the rolling pin one. This is the one that Michelle wanted to see. So I've got these 2. I always use this one for this plait. This one is good for little, smaller, more delicate mugs if you want a little rectangle handle. So with this one, I'll actually show you another design I do with this as well. But and again, anyway, pull it through, pull it back, and then kind of like try and slide it out. Yeah, see, that always happens. I always think I can be fancy, but it never works. Where this little excess bit of clay from the top of the cutting it comes off onto the handle, but that's easy to pull off. Get rid of that because you don't want excess thickness of clay on there. So that was just a little bit of extra clay that came off the top. Okay, and then you're going to think rolling pin, you're going to rolling pin it long ways, and you can do that if you want a longer handle. If you've got a really big beer stein or a big mug and you want it longer, you can do that. But what I'm going to do for the plait one, get your rolling pin and I'm going to roll it sideways to make it wider so that I can plait it. So it's quite thick so that I can do this. It allows me to do this. Those, you can get them anywhere. I think I got them on CCG, but you can get them anywhere. They're just generic. They're not even any particular brand. All those ones I've used so far, they're just, I think they're CCG's ones, but you can get them anywhere. Any clay supplier should have them, I think. I don't know. You can probably get DiamondCore ones, but those are not. Okay, so then you just want to rolling pin it sideways. Try and get it even. You can turn it over if you really want to. I don't know if that matters, but you can. Get it out. You don't obviously want it too thin because then you're going to have issues. So it's about that thick still. But now look how much wider it is. So we're going to go for the same, going to do exactly the same as what I just showed you on the round one. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave the top attached. So instead of having to smush 3 coils, it's already attached. So I leave the top sort of about a finger or a finger and half, whatever, attached. Get a knife. So I'm just going to use the same one that I just used then because it's here. Or you can use any pottery knife. And then, you know, if you want to be precise, you can, but I just go about, that's about 1/3 and that's about 1/3. Never had a problem with one looking thicker than the other. Once you plait it, I don't think it matters. Try and get your little cuts to similar height. So then all of a sudden you've got your 3. And I'm sure you can tell what I'm going to do with them now. So again, at this point before I plait it, I overbend it, right around, and then bring it back. Just find that ever since I started doing that, which was advice from Karen at Barehead Pottery, I haven't had as many cracking issues as I have had in the past. Separate out your 3. Am I in camera? Yep. So just pull them all apart. They sort of stick a little bit, and then very gently, again gently, I just push it over, because with this one being flat, you want to keep that flat. So you're kind of plaiting sideways with these. And then flat again. And then again, you can sort of push them together a little bit. And then, so this one, so instead of just like with the circle one, I would just roll it over and it was easy to do. You just roll it like how you plait. But with this one, you kind of want to pick it up and bring it sideways. So you're keeping that flat look, the flat look at the top. And then the same, pick it up and just bring it over without rolling it over. And then just do it the whole way down. Kind of smush it all together if you want to. Bring it over and down. And then over and down. all the way to the bottom. Same rules apply at the bottom. Leave the 3 separate if you want, or smush them together. So I'm going to smush them together. So what I meant was you bring them over. So if this one was coming over, you bring it over, but you bring it over keeping it flat like that. You don't roll it like with the circle ones. It doesn't matter. You can just plait them a lot easier. With these, you have to be careful to keep it flat so that you're keeping it flat the whole way down. And then, so I'm just going to, which one was next? This one. I'm just going to smush them together at the bottom for this one. Same as what we did on the round one. Because it's straight off the bag, that's very easy to do. And then you can kind of run your finger over it all. If you get any cracks once it's attached, just get a sponge. And then I'm just going to bend it into an exaggerated handle curve that I want it to end up being, and put on my board. That's that one done. And then what I just thought then, I might show you. So in the last kiln unload, I got a lot of positive feedback from my mug that had the Celtic knot on it. People really liked that. So let's go to this one. So that is the exact same one as I just used for the big plait. You can also do this with the smaller one if you have a smaller mug. If you want a smaller, it's exactly the same. Pull that back. And then try, yeah, no. So you end up with that top bit of clay on it. That's okay, I'll get that off. Okay. And then, of course, I didn't bring my rollers over because I wasn't thinking about showing you this, but I'll go and grab them. So again, it's quite thick and it's just blank form really. So then I'm going to put that there. I'll just grab my rollers. So you can see, very spoilt. I have a lot of different MKM and different brand rollers, so you can just pick whatever one you want. So that's the Celtic knot one that I used around the mug, so that's nice on the handle. You can take the handle off and put other ones on, which I do as well, but that would just roll on your handle. But I'm not going to use that because I used that the other day. I've got a sunflower one, little flowers, lots of flowers, because I love flowers. That one, so that this is what you've got to think about when you buy rollers as well. This one, because of how it is on the wood, it's raised, that will give you an indented pattern on the handle. So if you want a flat underglaze in, you can do that with that one. This one, because it's indented on the roller, that will give you a raised texture look. So it just depends. So I might go with this one. I like this one. Actually, I haven't used this one before, so I might not on the handle. I might use this one because that's really pretty. It's like vines and flowers. So just wet it. You don't have to worry about cornflower. I think you can use cornflower as well if you want, but this is just one handle, and it's just really quick. So it's not going to get clogged up with clay because you're just going straight up the handle. If you were doing something bigger, you might want to put cornflower on it. So quite a fair bit of pressure because you want a nice texture, and you can probably see, oh, maybe not, my hands are in the way, but it kind of, doing that pushed the handle out a tiny little bit. So then it's got this really nice flower texture on it. And you can do that on your mug like I did with a Celtic knot to match in. So you can do that. I'm just trying to think. I think I did that on trimming with a Celtic knot one, but the mug was quite soft. So if the mug's soft enough today, I'll pick one and I'll do that pattern on it so that it matches in. So what you can do is you can see up the top, it's a tiny little bit more muddied than the bottom. So that will be the top of my handle. So again, over bend it, which I should have probably done before I rolled it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Over bend it, bring it back, bend it again into an exaggerated handle shape and put it on my board. So I put them up. I put them on their sides like that. That's just how I do it. I don't know how everyone else, doesn't matter. You just find out what works for you. And then they'll sit up, as I said, for about an hour. So then for my gnome mugs, I want the gnomes to be the focal point. I don't want the handle to be the focal point. So I am just going to use my DiamondCore, this 3-1, I think. I might do them both different, they don't have to be the same. So these are DiamondCore handle tools. Oh, they're just a game changer. If you don't have any, honestly, they're such a game changer. Because look at this, you just go, can you see me? No, lucky I looked up. So you just literally hold it at that angle. So it's quite a low angle. If you hold it more at that angle, you'll just dig through. You want that flatter angle. Well, not flat. And then you just literally pull it through your block. I always put my thumb there because sometimes you can find when you come off the end, it pulls it and then it tears your handle in the middle, or with my clay because it's so soft. That's why I've always been putting my thumb at the end there when I pull the tool out the end. And then you go from the end, I nearly went from the wrong end, the end where you finished, you pull it back up. That was something I saw on DiamondCore, did a video on their handles, and they said that, and yeah, it works heaps better. Again, I don't know why, I don't know the science behind it. Over bend it, and look at that, how easy is that? And you have this beautiful handle. That looks really good on carved, the horizontal carved mugs that I do, where I carve all these tiny little lines in the side of the mug, and then I'll do that handle, and it looks really great. But I think that will look good on my gnome mugs. Over bend, over exaggerate it, put it on there. So that's 5. So I'll move that out of the way and start the next one. So my favorite DiamondCore tool, and I like to show people my favorite in case you don't have a big budget. Like me, I don't have a big budget. So I have slowly built these up. I didn't go and buy like 15 handle tools. I did it slowly because I can't afford to. This is my all-time favorite. If you're only going to buy one, it's a very simple handle, but it's a great handle. You can use it for male or female mugs. It's called R4, if that's not backwards. Just here. So it's DiamondCore, and that's the DiamondCore logo, and R4. And it's just I call it my thumb handle. So when you've pulled it, your thumb sits really nicely in it. So again, just exactly the same angle, pull it through, pull it a little bit out. So that's where I started. So you don't pull up that way, you pull it back from the bottom, back up like that. See, easy. And that is a very standard. A lot of people that hand pull handles will pull exactly that. They'll put their thumb in and they'll pull it like that at the end. So they've pulled their handle down and they've pulled like that at the end. And I should say as well, before people comment, yes, I can hand pull handles. I know how to do it. I've done it many times. I just don't like it. So over bend, back, and then into the exaggerated handle shape. So yeah, I always tend to get people commenting and saying you should hand pull your handles. Well, you know what? If I don't have to, if I can find an easy way to do something, I'll do it. You get the same result. What does it matter? So, you know what? I never make butter chicken because I can go to the Indian restaurant and buy it. So, same kind of theory. Now, this is my second favourite. This is the one I was saying with those blobble mugs at the beginning. I might use my cloud handle, putting it in front of my shirt because it's easier to see. So you've got the blobbles on the mug, and then this gives you blobbles. So it kind of matches in nicely. That just reminds me, Gwen, my keeper of my Mud Magic dictionary, last kiln unload, I said duvalaki about something. And she laughed. She said, "Did you say Duvalaki?" in comments. She said she's got to add it to the thing. Well, yes, I did. And I don't know. I didn't realise it wasn't. It's funny, you don't know. It's not an international term. I thought everyone said Duvalaki. So these, I would call these Duvalakis, handle Duvalakis. If I can't think of the word. They're not, they're not extruders because you're not extruding the clay. Handle pullers, maybe, handle tools. Overbend, bring it back and put it into a handle form, handle shape. Like that. And the good thing with these, you can, I was just thinking then, because that quite a chunky handle, it's quite a thick handle. So with the DiamondCore tools, mine are all on the, pretty much on the biggest. So you can see this tongue is down against the thing. They all have this here, which you need a screwdriver, but it's really easy. I've done it many times. Just unscrew that, it loosens it, and you just pull it up. So if you pull it up like halfway up here, then obviously your handle's going to be thinner, and then you can tighten that and it will stay there. So when you get to the depth of the handle that you like, you just leave it tightened and it will stay there. So what have we got? I need 3 more handles. So what else can I show you? I can do I could do my crazy handle if you can be bothered watching. Where's that little one? Here it is. So I might get another nice piece of clay. So obviously all this clay that you're cutting off, it's fine. You just reuse it. I don't know where I put my my heart box right here. Obviously you still throw with this clay, you just wedge it up, it's fine. So it's not, I'm not wasting clay by doing this. You just will have more success with your handles if you do this. That wasn't very straight cut, but that's all right. I might just, it will be with this kind of one. Normally I wouldn't worry so much, but with what I'm about to do, if I can get it flatter, it is better. Or easier to pull the little coils through. So with the crazy handle, I wasn't going to do this. Okay, this is a little bit more work. So you just do the same as what we did before for the plait. Pull it away. Hopefully this will behave as well as the other one did. Which, yes, 1. So I'll just quickly do 5 of them. 2. Doesn't want to pull away as well, and I'm trying to rush now. 2. Often when I do that and try and rush, it will break in the middle when I go to pull it up off the block because it'll stick. 3. I shouldn't say 3 till it's out. 3. So with the crazy handles, you could do as many of these as you want. You can make it as big and as crazy as you want. But I'm just going to do 5, 4, 1 more. And 5. And then, as I said before, go back. If any have that extra little bit of clay on the side, just sort of trim it off with your knife. I'll just quickly do that. There's only really 2 that had it, which is great. And then you want to line them up. I'll just quickly get your thumb in. I mean, I'm tempted to just not worry about that, and because, you know, for speed of camera, but if I don't, you're going to get these sharp bits that you then, because you're making a crazy handle out of it, you then can't get a sponge or a sandpaper in there because it's all crazy. You'll see in a minute. So just kind of smooth off just a little bit. As you can see, I'm not doing a lot, just getting rid of any little like burrs and sticking out bits that are gonna become sharper pieces. You can run over a sponge if you want. I prefer with handles to keep as minimal water as I can. So I have done these a couple of ways. This is the way I find the easiest. So what I have done in the past is I have attached strand by strand. So I've put the first strand on the handle in the normal handle form, kind of like that. Then I've put one at a time and just crazied it over. What I have found since then that is easier, and you know, we always want easier, is to do exactly the same as I did with the 3 plait, but with 5. Get them lined up kind of, and then smush them together. Let's move this. Need that anymore. Okay, so smush the top together. Again, that will be what attaches to your mug. And I wasn't going to show this style because this, you know, I'm only new at doing this, so you know, you have to find your own best practice with this, but this is what I do. Okay, so you've got that all smushed together at the top, that's where you'll attach it to the mug. Over bend, again, this is going to be short because I only did it on a standard, my standard block of clay. So if you want it longer, rolling pin out a bigger slab so that you can get longer coils. And then separate so they're all stuck together, which is normal. Separate them back out gently and then just go for it. There's no rhyme or reason with these. So actually, no, sorry. So what I do with these is I just leave them like that, because if you go for it now, they're all, it's not going to stay in a handle form because it's pretty delicate. So you can leave it like that, and then in an hour, when it's firmed up a little bit, you can go for it. Don't leave it too long, or those little things will crack. But I'll kind of show you if I can. So you just get them and you just go random, but you don't want them looking plaited. So you just go, you know, you might have one raised up a bit like that. You might just want, and then you just go, oh yeah, I just want that one there, and I want this one to go back up here maybe and around. Then you can attach it to that if you want. In fact, I quite like that. And then that, and then you probably like, cause for my plait handles, for example, I only have 3 at the bottom of my plait anyway. So as long as you end up with at least 3 at the bottom to attach it, that's fine. You don't need all 5 to come to the bottom. So then you can just squish them together. Might just do it, why not? Just go, yep, that'll do. Whatever I just did will do. And then just attach that one there, because it didn't get to the bottom. That was the one I made the bigger curl here, so it's shorter. And then this one here that I've brought back up from the bottom up, then I'll just smush it in and attach it. When I attach the handle, I'll do it better with some water, but I just smush it in, attach it in. And then you've got the start of a crazy handle. And then if you glaze the mug white, and then just glaze the handle in like a couple of blues and turquoises and stuff, it looks stunning. You make a feature out of your handle. And then I will leave that one. As I said, I haven't done that in the past. I've usually plaited them, crazied them, whatever you call it, when I'm attaching it to the mug. So I'll see how that goes. As I say, I'm only new to this, to doing these, so it's all, I'm learning those as I go. So I will put that there, and it has kind of stayed, so I will play with it. It has stayed in that handle shape, so I will play with it when I attach it, but this part here is still kind of flat, so that'll be nicer for your thumb. Again, you don't have to do that. I've done ones where even at the top it's crazy. So that is 8. So I need 2 more. So I will just do 2 just standard handles, I guess. So, oh no, actually I know what I was going to show you, this one. So this one, again, DiamondCore, is the one I use for that, what I call, hang on my shirt's better, what I call my breast cancer cross handle. So that is R9, DiamondCore R9. So you just pull it the same. pull it backwards up, then over bend it, repetition, right? Over bend it, bring it back, get whatever knife you're using, this one, again, and then so you can see the handle pull has pulled 2 blobbles. Again, that will look good on a blobble, one of those blobble mugs, so I might pull another one, just leave it like that. And then right in the middle of those 2 blobbles where the line already is for you, you just cut it. Again, you leave the top bit attached. Just smooth that off, because again, you don't want to have to try and do that later with sandpaper. You can't really get in there. Or sponges and stuff. Smooth that off. So they're still attached at the top. Cut apart, over bend. And with this one, I definitely do this when I attach it to the mug, because it's only 2. So as long as you have you do the mug handle shape, all you're doing when you attach it is that. So it's still staying in the same shape. You're just doing that. Slip and score 2 spots at the bottom. Keep them separated at the bottom and attach them at the bottom. Or I use vinegar, I don't use slip, but you know what I mean. And then just, you know, play the cross until you get it to where you want it. And then it looks like prostate cancer or breast cancer, those ribbons that they use. So I think that'd be really nice for a charity. I still haven't approached them, but I will. And then, so I'm just going to bring that back and just put them next to each other and just leave them on my board like that, and then cross them when I attach them. And then last one, I will just do, so this was what we used first, and I just cut it off and use the block again, but all I can do is flip it over. No point in wasting that side. Oh, actually, no, that's not it. That's the original one. Oh, I nearly used the wrong place. So this one. So that was where we were working, and then you can just flip it where I've cut it off, flip it over, and it's got a bit of a raised bit on the end. They just didn't cut it quite straight, so I'll just cut that bit off. Just get that a bit straighter. Doesn't matter too much, but that was a bit much. So that it's kind of flat. And then I'll use that same one because I've got that blobble mug. Pull that through. And then I've got the blobbles for the blobble mug. Bring it back, over bend, bring it back. Leave it in the handle shape, over exaggerated, put on my board. So what I mean is, let me show you. So with these mugs, which again in my mug making, I've got how to do that. Imagine that as the handle. So you've got your blobbles and your blobbles, and you attach it, and it looks really good because it matches in. Well, I think it does anyway. And kind of the other one that I was saying about, which is, I'll just put that there. So I've got 5 per board, which was, this one. So this will kind of give you the idea I mean, and I think this is probably maybe when I'll put it on, although I wanted it for my gnome mug, so I don't know, I'll decide. So if this was the tiny little gouges that I do, about the same distance as this, so you put it on and it just looks really effective. So yeah, you've got to think about your mugs a little bit. For the most part, I just make handles, and then when I go to attach them, I just select, come back down, top tip. I just select when I'm attaching them. So I'll just make 10 handles if I need 10, and then I'll select them when I attach them. And I will now just pull a couple more just generic handles, because the ones like the crazy handle and this one in particular, that very well may crack or may fail when I go to attach it. So I will make 1 or 2 extra handles just in case. If I don't need them, I just put them back in and just throw with the clay. It doesn't matter, it doesn't waste it, but at least then they've sat up for the hour or 2 hours. If you don't do that and then you need another handle, you've got to wait for it to sit up. So I definitely recommend making a couple of extra handles. So that's it. Michelle, thank you for the inspiration for doing this video, but I hope that was what you wanted. I hope that helped. Go look at my how to make mugs. There was, I think it was 5 mugs, 5 handles, but it shows attaching if you want to see that, and trimming and everything as well, and throwing the mugs. So that's it. So thank you very much for watching. Stay muddy and have a magic day. Bye.